All About Eyeliners Part 4. I tried a lot of eyeliners out last year, but I didn't get this video up in time. This time I tried a lot more pencil liners because based on your comments, that's what most of you guys prefer. The first eyeliner is the Rimmel Scandaleyes Kohl eyeliner, and this one is in black. When I first tried this out, I was so excited because I thought I found a really good pencil liner for drugstore. And it has great pigmentation. The consistency is creamy and it goes on smoothly. When I put this on my top lid, it didn't smudge. When I put it on my bottom lid or like the outer corners, it has a tendency to smudge there. It says it's waterproof, and I would say it's 80 to 90% waterproof. There's sometimes where it does come off, but not completely. I would say for a drugstore pencil liner, this is one of the better ones out there. It's very cheap. I think it was around $4 to $5, and I also got this in the nude color for the waterline. The next two eyeliners I'm going to group together. This one I got from Ulta, and it's called Palladio, which I've seen before, but I've never really tried any of their eyeliners or any of their products before. And I've only seen this at Ulta, and it was in the drugstore section. So the first one is the Herbal Precision Eyeliner, and this one is in black Onyx. And the next one is Herbal Eyeliner, but waterproof, retractable, and this one is in Smokey. So that one is the non-waterproof, and this one is the waterproof. The reason I'm grouping these together is because my opinions are the same regarding both of these eyeliners. I would say the pigmentation is not as rich as if you compare it to the Scandaleyes right here. Regardless of this, one of them being waterproof, they both smudge. The waterproof one isn't even waterproof, and it came off quite easily with water. So I never tried any of their products before, but I would say the price range was, it wasn't that high. It was, I would say it was around $5. So both of these eyeliners didn't do so much for me. I let it sit for a while, and you could see it smudging. That's it for the drugstore eyeliners. For more of the high-end pencil liners, this one is the Kat Von D Autograph Pencil in Puro Amor. So I got the smaller eyeliner, so I believe this was like around $8, and then she has a full-size one as well. And I wanted to try this on because I really do, I love her autograph liquid liner, so I thought that her pencil liner would be as equal. So this color is black. This one is the darkest one, but the color, I was very disappointed in it because that's it right here. It went on as more of a dark gray, and I kept on layering it over and over again for it to reach, that's going over 4 times to reach a really dark color. And I let it set for a while, and it ended up still smudging on me. So I was so disappointed. I'm glad I didn't get the full size. It's smudged, and this is supposed to be waterproof, I believe. It doesn't say on here, but I believe it's supposed to be waterproof, and it's not. It did come off quite easily with water, especially when my eye starts watering. It's smudged, and this also faded on my inner corners, which I have a lot of problems with. With my inner corners, the eyeliner tends to come off first there. This didn't really live up to my expectations, and I was quite disappointed. Next one is Too Faced Perfect Eyes Waterproof Eyeliner, and this one, it comes with a little sponge, little tip to smudge out your eyeliner. And this one has great pigmentation. It's so rich, and it's even darker. It's darker than the Scandaleyes. Like, this one goes on jet black, and it's quite creamy, so it takes a while for it to dry. I don't think I had no problems with it smudging on my top lid, but then again, if you put it on my, when I put it on my bottom lid, it tends to smudge a bit, which I don't really put eyeliner on my bottom lid that often, but if I do put on my bottom lid, I always set it with black eyeshadow, and that same thing goes with putting this on my waterline. No matter what eyeliner I use on my waterline, I pat down my waterline with a Kleenex or a Q-tip to make it dry, and put on the eyeliner on my waterline, and then set it with black eyeshadow. Then I have no problems with it whatsoever. It lasts all day. That's what I do for my waterline. This one worked really well. I didn't have a problem with this creasing on me or fading. For it saying it's waterproof, I would say it's around 70 to 80% waterproof. There were times where it tended to come off on my inner corners. I'll say the only downside to this liner is that when you're sharpening it, this actually, you have to be very careful, because I've had moments where the eyeliner has broken off, like a big chunk of it. To get a crisp, like a pointy line, I would say I'm wasting so much product just sharpening it alone. And this was actually, this looks quite large, but it was actually longer. That is the only downside to this one. I would say regarding any creamy eyeliner pencil liners, that sharpening it is a pain, that you waste so much product just sharpening it alone. So it comes with a sponge tip at the end. I didn't really care too much for it. I would rather use like a small brush to smudge it out instead, but that's there for people who, I guess, prefer those. So the next one is Smashbox Always Sharp Waterproof Kohl Eyeliner, and this one is not black. This one is French navy. I thought I would switch it up and get like a blue, dark blue eyeliner. What is cool about this eyeliner is because the name, it says always sharp. So every time you open it up, it's always sharpened. And when I read I bought this online, so when I read the description, I was like, how does that even work? In the cap, it has a sharpener. So every time you twist it open, it's sharpening the eyeliner. It always has a sharp tip, and you can't retract it up and down. It does it automatically every time you sharpen it. So that's the amount you get every time. That's it right there. So I don't know how the black eyeliner is, but for the blue one, the pigmentation, I had to go over it so many times that if you go over it once, it's not enough. I would have to go over this 3 to 4 times to get the pigmentation that I wanted. I don't know if the black eyeliner is the same way. I love Smashbox, but unfortunately for this eyeliner, it didn't smudge on me, but it faded so quickly on my eyelids. It faded, and especially on this eye, because I have a little fold, it creased on my eyelids. Building up the eyeliner like 3 or 4 times to get the great pigmentation, and then within an hour it just disappearing on my eyelid. It was disappointing. I think the concept for this eyeliner is amazing. I wish the formula was a little better. Then this would probably be like the perfect eyeliner. Next one is Blinc Eyeliner Pencil. This one claims to be smudge proof, waterproof, life proof. The packaging is quite unique. It comes in this tube, and you screw it open, the cap, and the eyeliner is there. So when I first saw this eyeliner, it looked quite familiar. So if you look at it alone, does it remind you of a certain eyeliner brand? It looks exactly like Urban Decay's 24/7 eyeliner pencil. I never heard of this brand before. I got this on Sephora online, and this one, the pigmentation is great. It just glides, like it feels like butter. I have quite mixed feelings regarding this eyeliner. Like, I don't love it, but I don't hate it, you know? I had no problems with this smudging on me. It tends to fade a bit. As for it being waterproof, I would say it's around 80% waterproof. At the end of the day, I could see it fading and starting to come off, but for the most part, it lasted for a couple of hours with no problem compared to the other pencil liners. I'm not sure if I would repurchase this though. Last eyeliner, and I talked about this in my favorites video of 2013. This one is the Marc Jacobs Highliner Gel Crayon, and this is amazing. First of all, this one is retractable, and it's gel liner in a pencil form. And this one, pigmentation is great. It glides on quite smooth, and I've had someone say that it's smudged on her, but for any creamy eyeliners, you have to let it takes a bit longer for it to dry. I let it sit there for a couple of minutes, maybe like 1 or 2 minutes for it to completely dry. And this one is waterproof, smudge proof. I would say I don't want to like hype it up, but this is one of the better liners that I've tried that's long lasting. The pigmentation is great. So since this is retractable, which I think is great because then you don't waste so much product because of this. You don't have to waste it sharpening it. It does come with a sharpener in the back, but I don't really use this because no matter how much you sharpen creamy eyeliners, like one swipe, it's already dull. So I don't see the point of sharpening it. Sometimes I'll get a brush, and if I want a crisp line, or I use 2 eyeliners, like a liquid liner, create a sharper edge. I really do love this eyeliner, and I believe it comes in 5 more colors, or maybe 4 more colors. And this one retailed for $25, and I know it's on the pricier side, but I believe it's well worth it. That is it for all my pencil liners. So I'll go into liquid liners, and this one is the L'Oreal 12 Hour Infallible, the super slim liquid liner, and this one is in black. Comes with the long felt tip applicator. This one does not claim to be waterproof, so I wasn't expecting too much from this eyeliner. I haven't had good results with L'Oreal eyeliners. Oh, so I'm quite surprised right now because this one actually started to dry out on me, but I don't know, today it's working quite well. That's it right there. The color is really great. It goes on, it's extremely dark, but it smudges. It smudges and it comes off on my inner corners. Well, it doesn't claim to be waterproof, so I was expecting that. I would say it's a bit rounded, even though it looks sharp. It's a bit rounded, so if you want to create a wing with this eyeliner, it kind of feathers out a bit. Maybe this eyeliner will work with people who don't have monolids, if you want a thin line. Other than that, no. I forgot to mention with Marc Jacobs, he has a liquid liner, and I tried that out, but I don't have it with me because I ended up returning it because I didn't like it. It was in a pen form, but it was thicker, so it was this thick but in a pen form, and it was a bit rounded. I was really disappointed in that one. It didn't give me a sharp line. It feathered, like the tip wasn't as sharp, and it feathered at the end. I kept having to go over it, and it was watery, and the consistency was watery. It didn't give me a sharp line, and I prefer that with pen liners. It also ended up creasing on me, and it didn't last me. It only lasted me like 30 minutes before I started it creasing and fading. And it claimed to be waterproof, and unfortunately it wasn't waterproof. Like, I read some reviews regarding it and people seem to love it, but for me it just didn't work out, so I ended up returning it back to Sephora. The next eyeliner I have is Boots No. 7 Stay Precise Liquid Liner. And the reason I saw this, I got this at Target. I believe I got this because I read somewhere that they compare this to MAC's Liquid Last, and you know how much I love that liner. And the alternative is the Milani Infinite Liquid Liner, which I've used for many years. And the packaging is the same, and it's in a brush form. This eyeliner goes on quite thick. It's that one right there. I'm not sure if this one claims to be waterproof, but it claims to be smudge free for a perfect outline, and it's hypoallergenic. This flaked and faded like crazy. Since I don't think this claims to be waterproof, and it's not waterproof, it just came off quite easily with water. Next one is, I believe I also got this at Target, Boots Botanics Liquid Eyeliner, and this one claims to be waterproof and smudge resistant. Smudge resistance precision lines with skin calming marshmallow. Huh. I didn't read that before. This one has an interesting tip. It's quite small and rounded at the end, which pencil liners it should never be like this. It should have a sharp line. I don't understand liners that are like this. This one goes on quite watery. Colors is okay. This one also came off quite easily with water. It didn't even last before I saw it smudging. It smudged like crazy, and it didn't last that long, and it's not waterproof at all. Next one is the Milani Ultrafine Liquid Eyeliner, and I did a individual review on this one. This one comes in a felt tip applicator. Oh my gosh, I tilted this, it just spilled all over. I didn't know this was that liquidy. I never had this happen. So be careful when you use this eyeliner. For this liner, I had to go over it, I would say 2 to 3 times. If you do just one application, it's quite thin, but 2 to 3 times, then you get a nice dark color. I actually quite enjoyed this eyeliner at first. I mentioned that it flaked on me, and other times it didn't. This eyeliner is smudge proof. Waterproof is not 100%, it's not as great as the Milani Infinite liquid liner. My feelings for this eyeliner has changed a bit, that I find that it keeps flaking on me. I know in my review I said that I like this, but my feelings for it have changed, and I really don't like this liner, and I wouldn't recommend this liner, especially right now after it just poured out. The last liquid eyeliner is the Face Shop Face It Extreme Brush Pen Eyeliner, and I got this as a gift from a subby, Day, and this one is, off the bat, it reminds me of Kat Von D's tattoo liner. The brush is like a calligraphy, and it's so thin, and I love brushes like these because you could get such a precise line. It's my first Korean brand eyeliner, so I was excited to try this out. I wasn't expecting much because it doesn't say that it's waterproof. This one you have to shake it up. It goes on quite watery. Unfortunately, I didn't like this as much. It ended up fading so fast and creasing on me. The lasting power, since it fades, it didn't even last an hour before I started. It just started disappearing on my eyelids. I think that this eyeliner would be great for people who don't have monolids. You can get a very thin line with it. I like to use this to touch up my eyeliner. When I have my eyes open, I like to create a sharp line. So for areas that are not rubbing against my lid when I blink, it lasts quite well. But in other areas, it just comes off completely. So I would recommend this one for people who have double eyelids. I think this will work really well, not for monolids. That's it for liquid liners, and I have 2 gel liners. The first gel liner is the Tony Moly Party Lobu gel liner, and this one was also a gift from Day. I'm familiar with Tony Moly. I believe, is it 21 who advertises this brand? I was so excited to try this eyeliner out. This one has great pigmentation. Where can I put this? That's that eyeliner right there. It goes on black. It's so pigmented. I was very impressed with this eyeliner. I think this is waterproof. It's long lasting. I haven't had a problem with it smudging or creasing on me. It held up. I have no problems with it on my inner corners. Really impressed with this eyeliner. This liner lasted me the whole day, and it still looked quite awesome. So thank you, Day. I really did love this eyeliner. I really did love this eyeliner. I recommend, if you could get this, Tony Moly Party Love gel liner. And the last eyeliner is Smashbox Jet Set Waterproof Eyeliner. It comes in this small container. I got this one in black. This one is a waterproof crease resistance formula. This eyeliner actually goes on quite thick. I don't know if I got a bad one, I don't know, but this one goes on quite thick, and it doesn't blend in quite well. So you have to be careful when you put this on, because it's like, how can I explain it? It's not smooth. the Smashbox on the bottom. I found myself having to go over it 2 to 3 times to get a dark color, and also because it doesn't go on as smooth, you have some gaps where the color is just faded. This ended up flaking on me, and I never had that problem with a gel liner, but this ended up flaking on me. I don't believe that it's smudged. It says it's crease resistant, but it ended up creasing on my lids and flaking. As for this formula being waterproof, I would say it's around 70% waterproof. If you go over it a couple times with water, it actually starts to come off. But I hope I could still return this because I don't want to keep this. I got this at Ulta. I know Sephora has a great return policy. I'm not sure about Ulta. I was so disappointed with the Smashbox eyeliner because the reviews online were quite great, so that's why I ended up trying this eyeliner. But that was a lot of eyeliners, and I'm sorry if this video is long, but out of all the liners, my favorite eyeliner that I've tried is the Marc Jacobs Highliner Gel Crayon. A drugstore alternative, the better one there, I would say, is the Rimmel Scandaleyes. For a gel liner, the Tony Moly Party Love gel liner. I love my liquid liners, but this wasn't a good year for liquid liners. None of the ones had lived up to my expectations or lasted long. These ones were the better ones, my top 3. If you tried any of these eyeliners, let me know in the comments below how you like them. Recommend me some other liners to try in this new year. I've tried quite a few, so if you want to see part 1, 2, and 3 of my All About Eyeliner series, I'll link it below. And I have a playlist of eyeliners as well, and I'll link that below as well. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!